Hey guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video. And today we're going to go over the review scores for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. So if you like this kind of content, like, share, and subscribe if you hadn't already. I apologize if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I've been getting over a cold, that's why you haven't seen content. But if you can bear with me, we can get right to this. So, Delta Snake Eater got an 85 overall on Metacritic. It got a 100 from Gaming Bolt, saying Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a faithful, gorgeous remake with modern polish, tighter gameplay, and fun extras. And we're going to be skipping around. It got several 100s. But we'll go down to Miu PlayStation, which gave it a 95, saying Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater took one of the greatest games of all time and managed to raise it to an even higher level. It may not be for everyone, but it's an outstanding experience, a true video game masterpiece. Scrolling down for more reviews, we have Game 8 here with a 94, saying Snake Eater joins the ranks of the select few that exemplify how a remake should be done. It captures the essence of what made the original a critically acclaimed experience while updating its decades-old mechanics. Endless Mode with a 93 said Snake Eater preserves everything that made the original one of the best games ever, mostly by changing as little as possible outside its visuals and a few gameplay updates. Video Chums with a 91 said Snake Eater takes an already awesome game and enhances it profound ways that'll impress everyone from newcomers to longtime fans. It does such a phenomenal job that I wish every remake could remain this true, yet be this innovative. And we have CG Magazine with a 90, saying Snake Eater is a safe but faithful remake and the perfect entry point for newcomers or those wanting to relive the exploits of Naked Snake in a brand new light. Excuse me. Bunch of 90s on here. A whole shitload. Yep. We have an 89 from the games.ch saying a momentum in preserving gaming history. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, that's a handful, allows players to re-experience the beginnings of the historic stealth action series without some of the friction of older hardware. Digital Chumps with an 88, saying Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater respects the source material in ways that other games should follow suit. The story is retained. Each environment's gut punch hits home just as hard, if not harder, and the core stealth gameplay that you love and grew up with is there. Mara Station with an 87 says, although not as daring as Silent Hill 2, Snake Eater is just as good. Another remake worthy of its legacy, only let down by the AI and some animations. Critical Hits with an 85 says Snake Eater with updated visuals and gameplay plays it safe and is a competent remake of the Hideo Kojima's greatest classics. However, the new ideas don't always blend well with the old ones. And then you have a bunch of 85s. But we go to 83 from Spazio Games, saying Delta is a remake that walks a tightrope between admiration and routine. It takes your breath away when you traverse the jungle as Snake, yet it constantly reminds you that you are experiencing something already seen, merely dressed in new lights and polygons. And then an 82 from La PS4 saying the return of one of the best PlayStation 2 games with greatly improved graphics despite occasional performance issues, but very conservative in terms of gameplay, which may be perfect for classic gamers, but may struggle to attract new players. And 81 from GamePro Germany, saying Metal Gear Solid Delta is a good remake, but with a bit more courage, it could have been a great game like the original once was. We have Digital Trends with an 80, saying Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater manages to live up to its own legacy thanks to forward-thinking design of the original, but takes no risk beyond a more approachable control scheme. It is because Kojima pushed the limits of interactivity. And we do have a bunch of 80s here that I will not read them all. So we're skipping down now to a 75 by Press Start Australia, which says Snake Eater makes great effort in updating the original game's presentation with some truly next-gen visuals. However, in that process, performance issues and challenges in art direction are bound to be divisive for fans of the original. And finally, we get to the mixed section. We have a 70 from Comic Book, saying while much of Delta does qualify as a remake, other aspects felt like Konami was simply cutting corners, and if anything, playing it a bit too safe. The result is a game that is a ton of fun to play, but is likely the best way to play Snake Eater in 2025, but still left wanting more. And the low score of every critic is actually a 60 from Well Played, which says, with Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Konami has crafted a visually arresting re-release so fawning and reverent that it reads entirely incurious. Fans of the source material will no doubt relish the opportunity to play a more modern-feeling take on a generational piece. That wasn't too negative for a 60, but that was the low score. So, with that being said, guys, that is the end of the video. Are you picking up Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the reviews. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please hit the like button on the way out. I very much appreciate it. If you're new, just subscribe. We're on the road to 200 subs, so glad to see the support. And again, thank you all for bearing with me. I'm sick. I'm trying to put out content. So if you watch the whole way through, I appreciate you very much. Have a good one.